sitting as a black, poor, dispossessed woman in this country and having to listen to Monique saying she's not guilty. But I'm living under white supremacy right now. And we skip away of the violence of white supremacy because we talk about the township, we talk about poverty as things that are it's just irrelevant. That lady's story is so powerful because it's the story of my mother, it's my story, it's the story of every black person in this room who has been dispossessed, who lives under violence every day in this country. So I'm sorry, Sarah, I don't want you to live in ways that you want to give back the land, because I want to take back the land, because for me, psychologically, it's very important that I take back the land. You don't give it back to me because it was taken back forcefully under colonialism. So
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm your host Marcos. Now, first of all, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel, everyone who is watching and liking my videos. Thank you for the support. Now, for those of you who haven't subscribed, maybe if you're meeting this video for the first time, please remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Now, in today's video, there's this debate that happened in South Africa, and it seems that our blacks in South Africa are now tired of the whites that are living there. They want them to leave their country. Now, I want you to watch this debate. It's a very nice debate. I want you to watch this debate until the end, and I will be back with more views.
So, Wanelisa, why are you so obsessed with whiteness? Why can't we be preoccupied with being successful in business, in the arts? I mean, like Ferial Haffajee says in her book, what if there were no white people?
I think for me, I'm not obsessed with whiteness. I'm obsessed with black liberation, and I'm obsessed with the rebuilding of black humanity in this country. So to read my obsession with black liberation as an obsession with whiteness, I think is incorrect, because we live in a society that is very dishonest about the kind of power, the kind of brutality that white bodies, even without doing anything, hold. And so for PJ Powers to come and sing a very mediocre song and make money over the years about using Zulu culture and using cultural appropriation is exact kinds of power that white people hold in this space. And there's a generation of young people who are sitting, some of them sitting in this audience, who are moving away from, the lies of Mandela to say, actually, we want the land at this point in time.
Woo! Good job. PJ, I'll give you the honor of replying. Yeah.
With regards to Jabulani, in 1982, it was probably before you were born, I went into Soweto with a rock song called You're So Good To Me. It didn't have a black note on it. I think some of the older people may remember it. It was You're So Good To Me. It was a rock song that suddenly charted on the Radio Zulu charts. So if you think that I adapted black culture, that is not the case at all. In fact, the black people put me on their wings, okay, and carried me, and have ever since. It is something I'm incredibly proud and grateful for. And it hurts me to see somebody that I have fought for my entire life, okay, in my own way, in what I can do. I'm not a politician, I'm not a statistician, I can't do any of those things. What I can do is talk out about whinging whites that we have in this country. And I will always have loved and always will love this country. The book that I've written is dedicated to the people of Soweto.
All right. Rebecca, are all white people racist?
100%. How can you be a white South African and not be racist? And I don't mean that in the way of you necessarily consciously think that black people are inferior. I mean that there is just no way that you could have been born into this society without internalizing racist assumptions. But let's not make that the end of the conversation. It's not racist, it's just a fact. Let's not make that the end of the conversation. Let's say, yes, sure, we are all racist, and what are we going to do about it? Let's move on. Let's not make that the final insult.
Monique, do you agree with Rebecca saying 100%?
No,
all white people are
racist. I
racist?
totally disagree with what she's saying. I think that whiteness and white privilege has become this buzzword that you hear all the time. But actually, it's a way to silence anyone that is not of color. What she was basically saying is, if you are a white person, you are racist just because you are white, without any evidence. I am not a racist person. I respect all people. I respect black people, white people, colored people. So I feel it's very offensive to say that all white people are racist. It's just not true. And I think that to make whiteness the enemy is easier to fight than to fight the crippling corruption, to fight unemployment, to fight, to fight the wealth gap, because the political leaders that we have cannot fight that stuff. They don't have the skills to fight that, and then they make race the problem.
Lovelyn?
For me, an ideal South Africa would be a South Africa where we have white maids, white security guards, white people in informal settlements, and then we have more black people in positions, you know, as more black lawyers, more black accountants, more black people living in decent housing, etc.
All right, Ayabonga, who's doing the oppressing?
Look, I think it's a combination of the historically white entrenched and established interests in South Africa, combined with, of course, this new black elite that Utatu Mbeki is talking about. I mean, if you think about BEE, all it is just crumbs trickling off the white table in service and in perpetuation and in continuation of the ritual.
I just want to say something. You know, the most disempowering, destructive and devastating racism is not personal racism. The penny sparrows can spew as much racist filth as they want to. It doesn't kill anyone. You must address the fact that the ANC left intact, virtually untouched. This, when Malema and them speak about white monopoly capital, it's not a myth. It's a devastating reality in the lives of people.
Yeah.
So, you know, the question of the black elite, it's true they're feeding from the crumbs that fall from the table of white monopoly capital, but what you also need to address is that the intra-racial, meaning within the black population, growing class inequalities has now outstripped the interracial inequalities between black and white. This is it. The Anglo-Americans, all of these people dominate this economy. This jobless bloodbath that Bhavi speaks about is a direct consequence of the fact that this economy, where it's a powerful country, we live in the most powerful city in Africa, Johannesburg, and people are living in shacks. That is the most important racism that's linked to to institutional structural issues that I want to hear more about, and I'm not hearing that. I don't want to talk about the penny sparrows. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so Monique, I'd like to bring you here into the conversation. We've heard a poem that absolutely captures white guilt. Do you feel guilty?
I feel that I don't have to apologize because I personally did not take part in apartheid. And in my heart,
So
I
can
feel
we say
sorry.
no?
Yeah, I
You
feel
don't feel
sorry for
guilty?
each and every person that was disadvantaged by apartheid. But you can't say that young people today still have to apologize. We also want to...
I don't think anyone's just asking for an apology. I think that happened with the TRC. So, Wanelisa.
You know, Master Chava, I'm sitting as a black, poor, dispossessed woman in this country and having to listen to Monique saying she's not guilty. But I'm living under white supremacy right now. And we skip away of the violence of white supremacy because we talk about the township, we talk about poverty as things that are it's just irrelevant. That lady's story is so powerful because it's the story of my mother, it's my story, it's the story of every black person in this room who has been dispossessed, who lives under violence every day in this country. So I'm sorry, Sarah, I don't want you to live in ways that you want to give back the land, because I want to take back the land, because for me, psychologically, it's very important that I take back the land. You don't give it back to me because it was taken back forcefully under colonialism. So I want to decolonize this country. And maybe if it means that an army of black people in this country take arms in order to do that, then maybe it needs to happen. But I'm tired of these debates. I'm tired of these debates.
Is that progressive or regressive? Do we need to have war for that to happen? I don't think so. What do you think?
when you've taken the land back, make sure you give it to the rightful owners in terms of the truth. Give it to the Khoi and the San people there. Yes! They are the rightful owners. If you want to take back the land, give it to the rightful owners. But you see, the problem is this.
So are you saying that black people are also not the rightful owners of this land?
If the black people are the rightful owners, where did they get the land?
Is that what you're saying?
No. History is much more complicated than that. Much more complicated. And we can go and have a look at that. But it's a myth. It's a myth to just claim that everything belonged to this and nothing belonged to that. It's a myth. If people start talking about war, we are in a very, very dangerous situation. It's very easy to incite violence. You don't know what you're talking about now. I would suggest that we all move away from that.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
And luckily I know that the majority of people in this country from different communities are not interested in violence. They are not interested in conflict and war. Those are side elements that should not be allowed to destroy the fabric of social cohesion in this country.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Social cohesion.
If you want my land, you can come and take it right now. I've never owned any land anywhere, ever. I'd like to make a proposal, though. Right? In all these debates, a lot of people forget, right, that our government actually owns almost half of all the land in South Africa.
That's not true.
Don't lie. You're lying. You're lying.
At national and provincial level, it's 24%, and at municipal level, we don't really know, but we estimate about 25%.
All right, let's let him finish.
Also, the government owns a lot of national assets in terms of state-owned enterprises, right? And a lot. It's not only the big guys, right? Why would the government need to own a diamond mine, right? Now, the government could, in very short order, right, make a huge dent in economic inequality. I'm not saying it's going to solve all the problems, right, but make a huge difference, right, by giving that back to the people. Right? It used to belong to the apartheid government, now it belongs to the ANC government. Right? Go along with the Freedom Charter. Say, let the people own these national assets. Right? They did that with Telkom. To an extent.
All right. Okay. Henny, are we destined for war?
I don't think we should wish for war. I think, Masachaba, we speak easily about it, and I understand our frustration, but I think we must, in respecting those who have fought for our freedom and who have fallen, we shouldn't wish this thing back upon us. But equally must, and it is our freedom for all of us and a responsibility to act. And I say equally for white people to act responsibly. And while we talk about the land issue, and it is fundamental, I think equally we have to talk about our economy. We have to say every year about 300 billion rand leaves this country in capital that very wealthy people own, which they move offshore. It's a fundamentally unpatriotic act that happens of undermining the future of this country. It's that which we need to equally hold responsible, to say to those who have money that we are going to look at ways in which that money must be reinvested in the future of all of our people.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you have watched that video till the end. That's a viral debate that happened in South Africa, the blacks against the whites. Now, we all know the whites, they love visiting Africa. They love visiting our black people here in Africa. They know our Africans are rich. They know our soil is rich. They know we are very fertile here in Africa. So they love visiting Africa. Some of them come as investors. Some of them just come to visit tourists. They visit our resorts. They visit our museums, our hotels. They just love enjoying our food, our view, our climate. So some of them just visit just to explore and go back. Now, some of them, they have an idea of staying here in Africa, so they come, they maybe buy land and build maybe businesses, homes, so they live here in Africa. Now, it seems the people from South Africa, or black people from South Africa, are not okay with the whites staying there. It seems they're not treating them well, so that debate happened. It was the blacks against the whites. So the whites were defending themselves. Some of them are saying that they haven't practiced racism since they visited that country, that they are living well, they are treating our black people there very well. But you can see our black people are not okay with how these people are treating them there. So they want them out of their soil. They're saying that they should go. They need their lands back. It seems the white people have taken more of their lands. Actually, the white people love visiting South Africa. They like settling there. So you'll find most of them, they head to South Africa because it's a very rich country, a very good country, a peaceful country, a country you can also stay and invest in. So the whites love visiting South Africa. So it seems they are not in good terms with our black people there, and our black people, they want them to live. You have seen that lady, she's very strong. She's saying that these people should go. They want their lands back. They have taken all their lands, so they want their lands back. Now, there was a viral video I did about the Chinese in Jamaica. I know some of you watched that video. In case you didn't watch that video, go back to my previous videos, you'll see that video about the Chinese and Jamaicans. The Chinese had occupied Jamaica, and Jamaicans were now tired of them because the Chinese were not treating them well. They were giving them low wages, disrespecting them. They were making them work for long hours. They didn't even have time with their families. So the Jamaicans were tired of that, and they were pleading with the government that the Chinese should leave their country. The Chinese had occupied a bigger part of Jamaica, and this is with the help of their prime minister, because their prime minister was encouraging investors in this country. So the Chinese had occupied a bigger part of that country. So those two videos can relate. It seems that the white people, when they visit your place, they don't come with the discipline it deserves. They come to your place, they come to your land, they build their homes there, they open their businesses there, but they forget that is our soil. They are on black people's soil, so they don't come with the respect we need, we deserve. They come here and they start treating us badly, which is not good. I remember there's a video that happened in the US that the whites went on a strike. They were claiming that the black people are taking their jobs. They have nowhere to work, that we are taking their jobs and they cannot work anymore. So imagine they went on a strike saying that we are taking all the jobs in their country. They have nowhere to work. And when they come to our countries, we give them lands, we give them opportunities, they build their jobs here. Even our black people support them, even more than they support their fellow blacks. You find the black people, they support these white people more than they support their fellow blacks. So we give them the love they deserve, but it seems when we visit their countries, they don't return that in favor. So I don't know when this issue of racism is gonna end, because why is it that the white people cannot accept us black people and treat us the way we treat them? Because we treat them with love. We give them the peace they deserve, but it seems with them, racism is all they care about. Even when they visit our soil and build their homes in our soil, they still practice racism. So I don't know why that thing still happens. So in South Africa, it seems the white people gonna be leaving that country, whether they like it or not, because it seems the blacks there are not okay with them living there. They want them out. Thank you for watching this video. Let's spread peace. Until my next video, one love.